Welcome back to our Shadowrun Returns Deadman Switch campaign. So let's continue where we left off, which was us busting Coyote's cousin Gino from BTL lab. And now we're back and apparently looking for trouble. Aren't we always? Okay, so we are back to the Seamstress Union. And let's see what we have. We still have 4 karma left. And you know that's what I think we're gonna spend it on. We can do another charisma, because that will need 5. We cannot do it on decking, also 5, or intelligence 5. And actually extra decking will require 5 intelligence first. We cannot do body, that requires 6. We cannot do quickness or range combat, because that requires 5 and 5 here. But what we can do, and I would really want to do it, is to get an extra point in the rifle. An extra point in rifle, which will cost us 3, will get us full auto, which might be helpful. That's potentially a lot of damage if we get up close to whoever, if we can hit, but potentially pretty powerful. And our rifles have big magazines, and we're dual wielding them, so that might be a good thing to have. We'll have 4 armor, nothing else is of interest here. Oh, now we have almost 6k in yuan, so let's see what we have around here. So cherry bomb flags you down as you walk through the door. Hey new, there's a woman looking for you, Jessica something. She's waiting for you by the stage, Bellevue type. Wouldn't order anything, won't touch anything. I think she's afraid of diseases or something. Thanks, Cherry. Well, it sounds like I finally got in touch with Jessica, Sam's sister. Well, see, no charge, chummer. Why is the bar so empty? Well, we don't get much action in the early afternoon. Just a few salarymen slumming tourist wheel or hoping to talk to Madame Sinful and some die-hard regulars. Madame Sinful? That's what the downtown folks call Miss Kobata. It's a tourist wheel thing. They like her to have a naughty name like that. So who's around? I just got in, but I think Coyote is cleaning the back bar. Mr. Delilah is hanging out in his usual place. The vendors downstairs came in a few minutes after me. Oh, and Bartlett's here. Don't think you've met him yet. So who's Bartlett? John Bartlett. Big presence at the end of the bar. He is in the biz. Connected. You might want to meet him. So is that guy still bothering you? You mean my ex, Shane? Yeah. No, he hasn't been in since the last time. No calls or pages or handwritten notes either. Weird. He was so persistent. I guess he finally got the message. Maybe he'll find someone at the Universal Brotherhood of his and settle down. Alright, so I'm gonna look around. Have fun. Okay, so let's talk to our grizzled veteran. And got any stories today? Well, picking up on the last story. Oh, I think it's actually the same story we already read. Interesting. Okay, got any goodies for me today? And we've got another promo kit, 25% basic one. Okay, let's send it to a stash. So, gotta get back to biz. Alright, so that's John Bartlett. Full of life with a quick smile, the man tilts his head and watches you approach. Hey guy, what's shaking? Well, a little this and a little of that. I hear that, Omae. I might have something for you if you got a new end. Time is money, I'm listening. You ever heard of the Nephilim network? Of course you have. An in-the-know guy like you has to have heard of the premier merc team out there. Sure I did. And you know you can hire us to run with you when you need expert help. Not just any tube calling himself a runner. We cost more, but we're worth it. Well, we'll see about that. What One Grass has to say. Right, we have data from NTSB. I'm very busy. You know, you show me something worth my time, or you walk away. Data from the NTSB. Ranrock would pay to keep it quiet, and Ares would pay to know what it is. I've got 800 yuan for something like that. Oh, and finally our Shadowrunner etiquette is paying off, it seems. I know you'll double dip on this one. Make it 1,000. As long as you keep bringing in stuff like that, sure. Alright, so we've got another 1,000. We've got a lot of stuff now. Almost 7 grand, okay. Well, probably not gonna last us long. So let's talk to, yep, Jessica Watts. Let's talk to her. At a glance you can tell that Sam's sister Jessica is from a different world. The opposite of Sam in almost every way. Her suit is tailored, her eyes are sharp, and her style exudes authority. Miss Watts? Jessica Watts? She eyes you up and down warily. Does a good job of hiding it, but it's clear that she is well outside of her comfort zone. Yes, and you are? Neo. I'm looking into your brother Sam's death. I was told as much on the phone. A woman who called herself Coyote contacted me this morning to inform me that my brother was dead. They should come to this place and speak to someone about an investigation. Well, Sam didn't die of natural causes. He was murdered. She briefly casts her eyes skyward and gives a small shake of her head. I wish I could say it's a shock, but given the circles he ran in, Sam hadn't run the shadows in years. Well, if you say so. Even then, look at this place, these people, and you. And first, her bro regarding you more critically. You're not with the police, are you? Well, no, I'm not. That a problem? No, it's just that I don't want anyone else getting hurt on account of my brother. Surely there's an official police investigation going on. Why not let the professionals handle this? Well, I am a professional. But you must have better things to do than waste your time searching for whoever killed my low-life brother. Alright, let's see. Yeah, let's not emphasize payday that too much. First, Sam was my friend, and second, I am being paid for my trouble. She seems genuinely surprised. Someone's paying you? I find it hard to believe that anyone who really knew Sam would put up the money. Who is it? Well, that's not exactly your business. As far as I'm concerned, so I'm afraid that's on a need-to-know basis. This is ridiculous. He was my brother. Yeah, and you seem real shaken by his death. Fine, I'll pay you 100 just to tell me. Well, we don't really have any options, but hey, 100 it is. Not what I necessarily need to hide this. Alright, done. Sam Watts. And we've got 100 for trouble. Nice. I don't understand. It's called the Dead Man's Switch. It triggered when he died. Am I to believe that my drunken sort of brother hired you to find the person who killed him after he died? The bird mask drops momentarily, and in a sigh, she reveals a brief glimpse of real emotion. I left Seal to get away from Sam and his bullshit. Now I'm back, he's dead, and I still have to deal with him. Listen to me, Neo. you seem like a decent person, but I'm trying to move on with my life. Our mother killed herself last year, and Sam... Well, Sam was Sam, you know? I worked so hard to put my family issues behind me. I don't want to see this drag on. Well, I would love nothing more than to give you closure, and quickly. I appreciate that, but I think I'd prefer to just let it be. No one else needs to get hurt. Yeah, again, let's not emphasize the money here. It doesn't look particularly helpful. Your brother had my back when I needed him. I can't walk away from this. Are we talking about the same man? My brother was worthless, Neo. Worthless. He used people. He... Never mind. I can see that you're not going to let this go, and I respect that you're honoring my brother's memory in your own way. But I hope you can understand how emotional it is for me. Doesn't look super emotional. So, Jessica's demeanor instantly changes, from reluctant to helpful in the span of a single minute of breath. Maybe you can do things in a way that police can't, and maybe I can help. So what do you need from me? When was the last time you saw or spoke to Sam? It's been ages. I can't even remember. Well, there was a note on Sam's body. Sounded like an apology. An offer to meet up and bury the hatchet. It was signed Jessica. I wrote many such notes in the beginning, but I haven't made such an effort in a long time now. I don't know why he would have kept it. So where were you on the night of Sam's murder? I will overlook the implied accusation and tell you that I was at a fundraiser all evening. A very crowded fundraiser. But did Sam have any enemies? Sam's biggest enemy was Sam. I don't know of any others. You would likely know better than me these days. And were you and your brother close? Really? I don't think we need to answer to that question, but I think I've made my feelings about Sam pretty clear, don't you? You don't sound sad that he's gone. I mourned losing Sam long before he died. Now we can show you the picture of her and Sam as children. Jessica takes the photo from you guardedly as it might sting her. But that guard drops the moment she looks at it. Where did you find this? Sam's bunk? I can't believe he kept this. It was one of the few possessions he had. She studies an old photo for several silent moments. What happened between the two of you? Things were different back then. We were different. We were a family. Then, after our father died, things began to change, and we couldn't get back to a new normal. With our dad around, there was always a reassuring order to our lives. But after, everything got mixed up. You can never really appreciate the importance of a person in your life until they're gone. The remorse plays wet around her eyes, and it seems that she's not just talking about her father. Sam tried to be the man of the house. He truly did, but he couldn't handle it, and pretty soon he had spent every dime on our father's life insurance. Every dime. After that was gone, with mom working 2-3 jobs, he spent all her money too. I couldn't stand the way he abused her trust. So finally, I just had to leave. She holds the photo forward, one part of her ready to relinquish it along with the past, another looking to hold on to both. May I keep this? Sure, I got what I needed from it. Well, please do. Thank you. So, tell me about your mother after her death. She was a devout Catholic. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that she sacrificed her love for Sam and me. Well, that doesn't gel up with the fact that she apparently committed suicide. That's not a very Catholic thing to do. So another point why it's not exactly how it seems. But she turned a blind eye to what Sam was becoming, refused to acknowledge his downward slide. I couldn't watch her to do it anymore, so I moved out. After I left, we drifted further and further apart. I wasn't here when she died. In fact, I didn't even know about it until I returned to Seattle 5 months ago. So where were you living before you moved back here? Hell-free? So what brought you down here? It was less of what brought me there than what made me live here. I felt lost in Seattle, so I moved to California to see if I could find myself. And did you? Actually, yes. While I was there, I developed a whole new outlook on life. A vision for what the world could become. And I came back here to help make it happen. Alright, I've taken up enough of your time. Thank you, Miss Watts. Just as well. I need to get back to the office. But before I go, you should know that I am reinterring my mother's body tomorrow. I am arranging to have Sam buried with her. The funeral is tomorrow at Our Lady of the Blessed Sacrament, 7 o'clock. You are more than welcome to attend. Thanks. Goodbye, Neo. I hope you find what you're looking for. Stay safe. Well, got 2 more karma. I can't say we learned too much based on that. We're not exactly close. Okay, so let's talk to Mr. Kluve. Glad to see you well, Neo. And you too, Mr. Kluve. What's the state of the troops? Combat ready, perhaps more so than usual. Tensions are up. Word got around about the latest Reaper killing, and people aren't feeling safe. When people feel unsafe, they either go to ground or they huddle up. You noticed how empty the streets are these days? That's because everyone either locked in their squats, holed up in places like this, or seeking refuge in the nearest Universal Brotherhood chapter house. Safety in numbers, chummer. Not what we need numbers here. I got it covered. Well, indeed. Looks like you can get all of that covered. I'll bet you do. See you later, Mr. Kluge. Later. And there's a coyote. Coyote says you, her eyes glisten with gratitude. There he is, the man of the hour. So, how are you doing? I'm good. I think I'm good. I am done with BTL squads. Done with the crusade. The world looks pretty different to me now that I've got Gina back. So, what happens now? Now I'm gonna finish my shift and get some sleep. I think I'm due for some. After that, probably buy some ammo. I'm running low. See you around. And don't forget about me if you need some backup of your own. Well, I may call you up on that. So, don't need to talk to Mr. Delileh yet. Let's go downstairs and see if anything else is in there. Okay, so here's our stash. Well, it turns out what I misunderstood how the smoke grenades work. So we still need to throw them to onto the opponents, not to ourselves. So they will reduce their chance to hit. If I drop them to our own character, I will reduce my own chance to hit, which is definitely not what I want. So basically that means, considering we can't throw just about anything with strength 1 and no throwing, I'll just offload the grenades, and let's see if I can load up on anything else. I don't need nitro. I might get some medkits. Yeah, all we can do is medkits or resurrection kits, or trauma kits. Yeah, you know, let's get one basic, and we'll get boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I only have basic medkits. Let's do basic medkit as well in addition to that. No reason to have empty slots there. Okay, so that's that. So Dr. Castle grows up you only briefly from her charts. Her impish friend, on the other hand, tracks your every move with some sort of humanoid raptor with her mouse under its shadow. Live to see another day, have you? Well, that remains to be seen. Still more work to be done. So long as you end up here in the end and not on some organ grinder's table, I'm satisfied. Granted, a repeat customer means a person courting death more often than any good doctor should condone. I don't suppose I can dissuade you from your course of action. Well, very well. Then let's talk about how I can help ensure you make it back alive once more. How do you fall in this operation anyway, Doc? Well, I suppose you might expect that I had a fall from grace. Certainly that is the case with many of my peers. Not that you might think that I was compelled to do this because a friend or family member became a Shadowrunner and I hurried to their assistance one fateful night. But the reality is that I grew up knowing this is what I would do with my life. My parents were both Shadowrunners, and very successful ones at that. So successful that they retired in a very large house and raised a litter of kids who grew up hearing the impossible tales of their parents' younger years. Of course, we were expressly forbidden to follow in their footsteps. We were all expected to attend university and take full advantage of the opportunities they had fought so hard to give us. So Mom and Dad were proud to see me pursuing a medical degree, and they had only minor reservations about me applying that expertise to the treatment of Shadowrunners. After all, they never would have survived long enough to meet and fall in love, if not for the ministrations of several strict dogs along the way. So I suppose you could say I was born into this life, after a fashion. So is there anything else I can help you with? Let's see if they have anything new for sale. Nope, not here. Have any new cyberware? Nope, all the same. So never mind then. Let's talk to Mr. Fry. Look like someone who needs the latest magic stack. What can I get you? Nope. Nope. No, don't need. No, nothing new. Buster. Gruberman, okay. And how are you, my friend? Finding to fire a weapon. What say you? Tell me a little about yourself, Buster. Were you military? After a fashion, yes, sir. Sergeant in the 31st California Militia. It's no longer a recognized unit, and there are those who would say we never were. But someone had to stand up to the tier, and it fell to us. Tier Tangier? Yes, sir. I was in Cal 3, then the Elves came marching down from the north in 36. After the UCIS pulled their support, we had little in the ways of organized defense. But what we did have was a stockpile of weapons and ammo down in Auckland. The locals in NorCal held out long enough for us to bring the hit, and I tell you, all the magic hoo-ha in the world ain't enough to stop a V11 Hot Rock from cracking your dome. We drove them Elves all the way back to Itreka. Would have pushed them all the way back to Portland too, but some ninny down south reached out to the Japanese for aid and got our own version of Normandy for the trouble. Things went to hell in a handbasket from there. Not much like to talk about those later days. So let's talk guns instead. Can I get you anything? So, we have anything new in stock? No, all the regular stuff. Okay, never mind then. What about outfits? Take a look. All the same. Yep. Okay, welcome fellow child of the Sixth World. What can I help you with today? So tell me a bit about yourself, Algernon. My story is not so different from those who have come before. I am but a merchant, though one whose wares are far from mundane. I came here from Tangier 4 years ago after the governor of Seattle signed an exclusive trade agreement with the Council of Princes. And so as the flow of magical goods came to pass through the city's ports, so have I. At times I miss the tier, but as unlikely as it may sound, this new home of mine is far more interesting. And let's see what they got. No, all the same. Alright then. So let's talk to Mr. Delilah then. If you are talking to me, there is business to transact. Am I right? Well, it's always business with me. I appreciate this about you. Your talk is that you are a dangerous individual. What can I do for you, dangerous individual? I need to put a crew together. You got scratch or you're planning to pay me out of your earnings? So how much is this going to cost me? Well, for your speed, hired help will run for about 1200 a head. You start taking on tougher jobs, well, the more experienced the runner, the higher the rates. Yeah, I'll pay up front. Usually the bigger you are, the more likely you want to pay upfront rather than the percentage, because presumably you move bigger things and percentage might get expensive. Excellent, we agree on terms. I've got some runners on call if you got any special requests. Alright, yeah, I'm ready to go. Let's see them. Okay, so now we can finally build our own team and not just go with the NPCs that are given to us. Okay, and we have fixer contacts here, and we have Nephilim network, which we just talked to John Bartlett about, a different set of guys. So here's our character, and we can hire up to 3 more, with total 4. And it seems like for this mission we have to have Shannon with us, which makes sense. We need to summon some spirits. So we need to pick 2. So Shannon has a pistol, she has haste, that's good. She has mana bolt, she has 2 elemental fetishes. For summons, she has a basic medkit. So she's our shaman, she has no cyberware. Okay. So let's quickly, very briefly, go through who else is available. We won't be going through specifically what they have in terms of skills and weapons. Our inventory. So we have, basically the way it goes, the Nephilim network, as they already said, they are more expensive. So you can see it's 1500, 1200, yeah. Well, fixer contacts go for 1200, 1100, 13, 1150, so a little bit cheaper on average. But what you will also see on Nephilim network, you see a lot of kind of multi-class characters, which I don't necessarily like. So like here we have Assassin, has nice quickness, range combat, has strength, and has close combat, so well, this one is actually not a bad example, but so we have Assassin, we have Brute, which looks more like adept, some G casting, burnt out mage. Yeah, basically, like at least at that stage of the game, they don't look amazing. Combat adept, combat decker. That's what we have. We have combat rigger. We have cyber warrior. So that's, yeah, you see, like that's kind of example you can see, like, okay, you see this guy. So for instance, he has 5 in quickness, which is not too bad. But then only 2 goes to range combat, so his to hit chance would suck. And then he has all these different weapons kind of spread out, 1 in pistols, 2 in SMG, 1 in rifle. So he would be able, basically, almost no special abilities from any of the weapons he would be able to use. His chance to hit would suck because there's not enough in range combat versus all this individual weapons. So like basically, like at least in this, he has like 1 in throwing weapon, like which would make no sense. But that's a pretty terrible setup for right now. Keep in mind that okay, he has a 1 arm and data jack. And data jack in this case would be entirely useless, he has no decking, so pretty useless as it is. The characters are gonna level up and they will develop their skills independently, like as the game goes, so you don't build them, they do it themselves, as well as they would change their loadouts, and again entirely free for you. From you don't need to buy it from them, but you'll have to pay for them to join your missions, and it's 1 mission only, so like that price is just for a single run. Has a decent outfit, the same as ours actually. It has a couple of weapons, decent, so rifle and SMG, and both with smart links, so that's good. Some grenades and whatnot, but yeah, basically nothing to it. So like mage, with 1 exception, so we'll get to that. That's the guy I definitely want. Again, he's not as good yet as he will be, but that's more like support mage indeed. I definitely want to have mage in our party. I would prefer if there would be a bit more offensive capabilities there for like a large area damage, but support is also very important. And right now we unfortunately have, like, my character has no mage ability. Shannon, in this case we have Shannon, we have to have Shannon. She doesn't have mage, has some casting, but not the same as for mages. So he has already haste 2, so that's again +1 AP for 3 rounds, with 3 cooldown. That is will be very useful. Heal, nice, but we have options there. Armor 2, maybe. It has no cooldown and only 1 AP, so that's nice. But I don't know how useful. Like haste would be very useful. Heal might be useful. Weaken armor, again, I don't know. Weaken just by 1. Wasting AP on that, maybe not. He has 2, a second powerbolt 2, so that's good too. And he has 5 in willpower, so that's for casting. Spell casting is only 3, but that's gonna be more. He has decent body. Again, many characters here would have 30, if not less. So 40 for a mage is pretty decent for that level of. He has 3 in conjuring. Not a lot on charisma, so low intelligence, which is fine because we definitely don't need him for any of this stuff. And he even can fire a pistol, probably not amazing, but hey, better than nothing. So Alexander Falk, our dwarf support mage, is definitely someone I'm very interested in. Then we have the tech mages, so that kind of casting / in this case drone hybrid that certainly at these levels are pretty bad. Tech master, the same decking and drone rigging again while we are doing decking, so we don't need that. Drones, techno shaman, again decking, which we don't need, and some shamanism, which we have Shannon and a bit of ourselves, so not useful. That's more pure shaman. We already have a shaman. Utility man. He has some decking, which we don't need. Not great spellcasting. Not great range combat. Not great summoning and conjuring. Like really nothing to it, at least at that stage of the game. Weapon master, interesting, but again, see what I'm talking about. So 5 in quickness, which is good. Only 2 in range combat, so his 2 hit is gonna suck. And then he has all 4 weapons and only 2 in each of them. So again, no good special abilities for any of them. Bad chance to hit, and nothing else around here. So at that stage of the game, not a great character, but we definitely want our support mage from here. Totally is gonna be worth it, I think. And fixer contact are more of the classical, more straight up builds. So you see, like, go adepts. A couple of adepts here. I don't want them right now. We have a couple of deckers. Don't need deckers because my character is a decker. Okay, we have a couple of mages. So let's see what those guys have. Okay, so you see slightly different ones. So this one we have, but also has more attack. So flamethrower and the mana bolt, what we have on Shannon, but only one power bolt, no haste. So yeah. Then we have Gallow Glass, another mage. And let's see what we have there. This is sort of similar. It also looks more of the support. So we have some mana ball, but we have also heal wound, which we have on our dwarf mage. Aim, nice, but probably not necessary. And we have armor, and also power bolt 1 and the pistol. So I take my mage, my dwarf mage, even though it's a little bit more expensive. Okay, we have riggers. I don't want riggers, certainly not the low level ones here. So we have a couple of samurais. And we would like to have ourselves some samurais because we need to have some muscle. Okay, let's see. Close combat. Okay, that looks like a close combat specialist. Only 3 in quickness and only 1 in range combat. No. Death Sigh. Okay, that's kind of like a shotgunner. That's not bad. Okay, let's see. So we have 15 hit points. That's good. 5 in quickness, not bad. 3 in range combat. Okay. Again, they're actually not as good at that stage of the game as my character, even in ranged weapon, but has 3 in shotgun. Has decent hit points, so he can soak up some damage. Intelligence, who cares? The 1 in biotech, okay, fine. Willpower is okay, no casting, no charisma, that's fine. So I think that's another guy who we're gonna take. And then we have Shaman. And we have, well, we already have Shaman right now, but we may need Shaman later on, maybe. So let's see. Okay. And I think that's what we... Okay, let's see what he has. Inventory. Okay, so he has a shotgun. He has the high-grade street armor. Okay, nice. He has the shotgun and a rifle. And he has some grenades and a medkit. And this... Well, skills we already looked at. Any cyberware? No, not yet at least. Okay, that should do fine. Let's confirm. And now we can hire these runners and meet Shannon at the NTSB warehouse. And let's do just that. return to the docks. You return to the docks to meet Shannon Half-Sky. Although the Reaper's latest victim was her brother, but Shannon appears cool and professional, a consummate runner by birth, if not by trade. We'll get the job done, and hopefully one of the Earth spirits in this place can point you towards the Reaper. Dealing with spirits can be tricky business, but when they deliver, it's pure platinum. One doesn't have to be an Amerindian shaman to summon and control spirits. Anyone with magic talent can do it, but Shannon seems to have a particular connection to the spirit world. As you approach the gate, you know something's not right. The docks, already strange and uncomfortable at night, trigger the need for caution. Then you see it. The guards are missing and the gates being smashed in. Alright, sounds like we're not the first ones at the scene. And here we can load out our team. Unfortunately, only our character can do all the items, including the clothing and weapons. The other characters, we can only give them some consumables like grenades. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think our mage is going to be throwing grenades, but we can give him a med kit just in case. Has a heal, but... And Shannon has a med kit. We have tons of med kits, and Death's Eye comes in with med kit already. Alright. So let's confirm. And here we are. We have some unspent karma, but I don't think we have 3 karma. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be... well, we can't really spend it on much of the useful stuff, so that's okay. So, Shannon Half-Sky. About time you showed up. Looks like we weren't the only ones who want to take advantage of the situation. A bunch of mercs have locked down the area. I don't think they're here for us, though. My guess is there's something worth a bit of coin left in that warehouse. Yeah, any chance we can sneak past? Probably not. They've been doing regular patrols around the perimeter, and the front door looks like it's locked. Alright, so, but I'll make a cut here, and we will actually go on this run in the next episode. So, see you then.